Welcome back, guys, for video number 2, Tropical Tuesday volumes. So let's gonna jump right into it. Let me put myself off to the side. So now, in the previous example, we talked about volumes of cylinders. For this, we're going to be looking at volumes of what are called rectangular prisms. Now, this is going to be a pain for me to write out because you guys know my handwriting. Rectangular prisms. A rectangular prism, in other words, is just a box, which we would like to live outside of. So, I'm actually going to clear this out. So, um, the volume of a box is a very simple formula. It's length of the box times the width of the box times the height of the box. Oh, can you guys see me still? Yes, you can. Cool. Sorry, guys, we had a little bit of a blip. From our technology, but it looks like we're still cooking. All right, you guys can still see me, still see here. Is length times width times height. Now, these are arbitrary actually in a box. If you turn the box, the length changes, the width changes, and the height changes, but notice it's multiplication. And multiplication is commutative, so you could call this the length, right? We could call this the width, we can call that the height, right? It doesn't really matter. I'm going to call this the width of the box. I'm going to call this the length of the box. I'm going to call this the height of the box, right? But again, it's arbitrary. The volume here is just going to be equal to 9, or sorry, let's use the correct ones we have labeled. 16 times 3 times 9, which we can bring up our handy dandy calculator. And it's going to be 16 times 3 times 9, which gives us 432. And it's feet. And just like with cylinders, we're talking about feet cubed. Remember, for these units, cubic units is what we need. Let's look at another one. You can see that these are pretty easy. It's just taking the measurements we have and working from them there. So here is another word problem. We're told a rectangular prism has a length of 12 feet. Let me turn that off. Has a length of 12 feet, a width of 4 feet, and a height of 8 feet. So they tell us all the information. We don't need to even make any guesses. You don't need to draw this one out. They tell us everything. Volume is equal to length times width times height. So volume is equal to 12 times 4 times 8. We can bring up our calculator. 12 times 4 times 8, 384. And we're using feet again, so it's going to be feet cubed, right? Like I said, easy enough. When you're working with cylinders, or sorry, when you're working with rectangular prisms, it's a pretty easy formula. It's really nothing crazy. Now, the last shape I kind of grouped in here with this, even though it is not, I mean, it is a rectangular prism, but it's a type of rectangular prism. We have the cube. Cube is a type of rectangular prism. The only thing that's different about it is the length, the width, and the height are all the same. They're all exactly the same, right? Just like a square. In a square, the length is equal to, or the width is equal to the length. Cube, all of them are equal. So notice they only tell us one side. The volume of a cube is equal to side cubed, hence the name cube. So our volume here is going to be equal to 13 cubed. The reason that this is because like we said, length times width times height are all the same, so it's 13 times 13 times 13, which is 13 cubed. So we can go to our calculator, and you could do this either way. You could do this as 13 times 13 times 13, or you could do it as 13 carat cubed. Boom, it's same exact thing. So our volume is equal to, I should have read what it was, 2,197, 197, and our units is yards, and that's going to be yards cubed. So you can see that the process is very similar. We identify the important pieces, we fill it into our formula, and then we utilize our calculator or mental math to figure out the volume. Well, I hope you guys find this helpful. Make sure you're asking questions and showing up in your meets, and let your teachers know if you need anything else. But have a great rest of the day, guys, and I hope you enjoy the video.